I know when we get married, they will advise you and tell you, love your wife, protect her. When you people want to quarrel, just keep quiet and talk later. Those are good, though. They are very good. Those advice, they are good. They will tell your wife, cook for your husband, whatever he asks, give him. Don't quarrel with him. When he's angry, just keep quiet. Read it, they are good. But these things, I'm telling you, if God puts it in your spirit, those ones will be natural. If you become conformed to the image of Christ, you won't attack your husband. You won't dishonor your husband. You won't have the ability to do it. It will not just be you trying to obey rules and regulations. You will lose the ability. When you become like Christ, you will not be able to hurt her. You will not be able to offend her. You will feel the compassion of Jesus for her. Because these are spiritual things. And then the final thing is priesthood. Priesthood is the salt of the earth. Every time spirits build civilizations, is because of priesthood. The reason people are dressing naked on the street today is priesthood. It's a civilization of a spirit. Society is a portrait of the nature of priesthood that dominates it. The reason people think somebody loved them today by sleeping with the person is the nature of priesthood. The idea is to destroy the morality of our world. The reason people think if you don't take bribe, you can't succeed is priesthood. They have cultured the world to believe that until you cut corner, there is no success. Demonic intelligences take over territories when there is a negative priesthood. The same way, the energy of God will dominate the territory when positive priesthood increases. And so when God brings two people together, it's so that they can join hands together and raise an altar over a territory, to raise an altar over a system. Prayer is more in view in marriage than emotion. That's why God said in 1 Peter chapter 3, he said, when you relate with her as unto the weaker vessel, so that your prayers will be answered. That means your relationship with her heightens your priesthood in the spirit. So when you buy her a gift, it's not just because you want to make her happy. When you are offended but you choose to respect her and not attack her, it's not just because you are a good man. It's partly because you are. But again, you also realize that it has an impact on your authority in the spirit. And so if you want to have a high level of priesthood, you will be compelled to relate with this woman. You know, when I wanted to marry my wife, I told her something. I said, when people are talking in marriage seminars or churches, it looks as if they are bombarding the women. Honor your husband, be submissive to your husband, be this. In this equation, the man is the endangered species. The Bible said something. It said, if you don't treat her like the weaker vessel, your prayer will not be answered. And without prayer, you don't have a ministry. So imagine what God is telling you, that if you make this woman unhappy and you are guilty, stop praying. You are wasting your time. Go and make peace first. So your relationship with her can keep your ministry on hold for 1 year. Do you see why many pastors don't go anywhere? They are fasting, they are doing gathering, doing vigil, and then they are molesting their wives. They are intimidating their wives. They are not building their wives up. A confident woman that married you suddenly becomes a mediocre because you want to prove that you are man of the house. And then you don't know why the more you pray, the more your ministry sink. That means God is putting the future of your ministry in her hand. Who is at risk? It looks as if the woman is in trouble. You are the stronger vessel. You are actually the weaker vessel in this equation. The Bible said, if you do not provide for your household, it says you have denied the faith. That means you are not in the faith anymore. You are worse than an infidel. You are actually an endangered species. That's why you need help to be able to love a woman. Love is not a feeling. You will need God to help you to be a husband. You don't come and say, I have 2 million in my account, so you are joking. God will need to help you to be a husband. And because you realize that you need help to be a husband, it will affect your priesthood. Your intercourse and interaction with God will be heightened, and your authority over a territory will become stronger. And the same thing applies to the wife. He said the glory of the woman from now on is not the hairstyle. It's not the foundation and the eyelashes. He said the glory of the woman from now on is the countenance of meekness, honor, humility, lowliness that she demonstrates towards her husband. He said the same way Sarah honored her husband and called him Lord. That's what gives glory to this woman from now on. You know, many women think that their glory is in their intelligence. So they will come and talk. They will pack their hair, do like this. What they are saying is intelligent. But when men look at them, they'll say, look at this proud person. So instead of that intelligence to attract favor, it attracts reproach. Some women are so good in what they think they are so good. They won't even let their husband say, hey. The moment they come out to their husband, they take charge of the conversation. Before their husband say anything, they are in charge. They literally dominate their husband because they feel that they are powerful, they are smart. It actually attracts reproach to them because they don't understand this equation. The beauty of a woman after marriage is in her meekness, it's in her submission. And that's why when God was defining love from his own realm, he didn't call your love for her a feeling. He calls your love for her sacrifice. So from today, the only way God will know you love her is as you are willing to die for her, the same way Christ died for the church. And the only way God will see that she loves you is her desire to submit and to follow you all the days of her life. Because this equation is to provoke priesthood. If she doesn't submit to you, she will have no priesthood in the spirit. If you don't take care of her, you have no priesthood in the spirit. That's why in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, Paul began to teach us. He said the head of every man is Christ, and the head of Christ is God. And he said the head of the woman is the man. He said a woman cannot prophesy with her head uncovered because of the angels. What he was talking about is the rebellion of Lucifer. You have no priesthood before God except as you are completely under the authority of your husband. That is what will give you right to participate in the realm of God. And remember, our journey on earth does not end on earth. We are going somewhere. And if you are mindful of eternity, you will make your priesthood count. And the way your priesthood count from today is not just that you pray in tongues for 10 hours. It's that you are under your husband's authority. His covering is all over you. And it is evident that his authority superintends over everything you do. He said when you do that, you have a priesthood before God. And concerning the husband, he said when you can take care of your wife in total and absolute reality, the way Jesus took care of the church and is willing to die for the church, he said then you will have authority in the realm of God. So marriage actually revealed to us the true essence of priesthood. That priesthood is not just prayer. Priesthood is sacrifice, and priesthood is submission. And that's why when you read the whole Bible, only priests offer sacrifice. And so every time you sacrifice to this woman is a testimony of your heart posture and the kind of priesthood that you have before God. Every time she submits to you is a testimony of her priesthood before God. And can I assure you, the hardest thing for a man to do is to sacrifice. And the hardest thing for a woman to do is to submit. A woman always wants to express herself, but submission say keep quiet. That keep quiet is the hardest thing for her. But if you understand that you are not just keeping quiet because your husband is honorable. You are not just keeping quiet because you are being oppressed, but because of God, you will always keep quiet. Because a day may come, as life is funny, that you may assume that you have known everything about your husband. Anything he talks, you say forget. That is the day of your risk. When you give birth to 3 children, nothing will scare you anymore. You are rooted in the family. You can jack your husband if you want and say, what do you want? Even his family members can't do anything. That time you have become the mama of the house. But that is the time when you think you are already established, that is when you become most vulnerable. Because if you don't consciously submit to him, to be humble, to be quiet, to follow, you will lose your stand with God. And that time that you think you have seen everything about your wife, you see, then she was slim, she was glorious to look upon. Why are you adding flesh like this? And then she said, come. You say, please, later. You are in trouble. That is when love will now become a responsibility. Because even if you don't feel like you will hug her, Even if you don't feel like, if you are coming home, you buy a gift. Anything she needs, you will go out of your way to provide it. Because it is not just care, it is priesthood.